Hi guys, welcome again. This time I have something special for you. As usual, I always say that, I know. But this time it really is quite special because this is the episode where I admit that I was really wrong. And much as I like to think that I admit that I'm wrong, I probably don't do that enough. So this is the Rhodos A strategy guide. And you might like, Rhodos A? Isn't that site completely bad? It has like even worse art, I think, than the B side. The B side looks like mysterious and like this is a little bland. But yes, Rhodos A. This is specifically for free player. I don't know currently if you can like move this to 4 player, to 5 player, 6 player, 7 player, maybe. But I think this is specifically for free player, and in this episode, I'm going to try to tell you why. So this is first game, and let's um, let's analyze how people are likely to behave strategically. So one of those I would expect to be in green. I'm not the best in green, I think, as Rhodos, and it's probably going to be Olympia on the B side, and then Giza on the B side is probably trying to win red cheaply against Olympia and score a lot of points from blues and stuff like that. And in this position, as Rhodos B, given that this is Giza next to me, this might be favored for me, but it also might be terribly, terribly bad for me if I get blocked enough. And Rhodos tends to get blocked a lot on the B side in free players, especially like if you're like the player like me, who usually is the highest rated player. People usually play against you a little bit, and probably some of players play against me because they saw my videos and stuff like that, which is okay. I brought it on myself. And here, for those reasons, I decided to go on the A side. And I of course also want to try some stuff for content, and I'm just try to challenge myself strategically, because I might be stuck in some thinking, and instead I should be doing something else. So here, Rhodos A. The first reason for that is, if you take a look, Olympia naturally has a clay, and on both sides it needs free clay, and Giza needs free clay here as well. So even if I get blocked, everybody gets blocked. Like this is the safe space. I cannot get blocked on this one. Of course, with Giza with the stone, maybe that's not so important, but sometimes it is if Olympia really wants to block us on stone. And I've seen games like that where Olympia just wins by blocking on stone. So let's go with the first one without further ado. I think we talked about strategy enough. First hand, excellent stuff. Both Timberyard and Clay Pits are playable, I think. Depends on what you are in the mood for. I decided to go for Timberyard just because Timberyard would be excellent for Giza. And I don't know. I decided to go Clay Pit actually. I think that might be a small mistake. So here, I'm quite sure I picked Lumberyard. Guard Tower is possible, but right now it doesn't look like Olympia is going full green, so I'm not scared of him taking Guard Tower that much. Or am I? Okay, this is probably my last mistake. Here I'm sure, now I'm sure that I picked Altar, because nobody is in Barracks yet, like nobody is in Or. Yeah, that was my last mistake. But as you can see, you could have played this differently. So here, I'm not interested in Stone Pit. Another reason why I think this side is very strong is that you can just ignore stone. And as you probably know, I'm very big on ignoring stone. Theater, of course. Here, it's Lumberyard. I knew I had Lumberyard H1, but I just didn't remember if it was the first or the next time around. And here, the possibilities are Throwing and Loom. I actually think that we should throw from this one, probably, but I know that I made a mistake and picked Loom. But Loom is like, if you want one resource, great resource, it's Loom for the Rhodos A side. So here, um, Couple of choices. I think statue is not terrible. Vineyard is also not bad, as probably a lot of people will struggle with gold. I expect some gold to come my way from the from Olympia, but I think I just decided to play it safe and go for archery range. The reason for that is because I was afraid that what happens will be, for example, like walls picked or what it's called, stables picked. Then he picks archery range, he picks walls, and suddenly it's like 3-4, and I have 3, and I'm quite sad, and I don't have any path in this game. I thought with them both pointing to me with trading post, I'm fine with gold, so I decided to go for archery range. I think. No, I actually decided to go for statue. Just to play it safe. It's okay, I think. So here is where I struggle a little bit, just because I talked about how free clays here really help, but at the same time there is a brickard pickup, just because they help them too, so I might not get enough clay support in this round. Maybe that was the reason to prioritize claypool earlier in the draft, possibly. So here I will need to pick Foundry when it comes back. I probably cannot rely on them to get both of them. So I think this should be Foundry nonetheless from this hand. But I decided to go for Sawmill to have access to have cheap access finally to the first stage. To also kinda monopolize stone, because Olympia would likely get the stone. And the last thing is, of course, archery range, probably coming back, so I want to pick it up. But I think it's a small mistake. But as you can see, like, I'm making small mistakes, and still it's going quite good. So this site might not be terrible. This is just easy stables, of course. I was a little afraid that he will pick it up, but not really. Here, either archery range, vineyard, or just a wonder stage. I think I made a mistake here. I think this should be vineyard, plain and simple. Just because it's 9 gold. I wasn't like too focused when I played this game, but after I finished this game, I decided to save the replay. That's why there are so many mistakes like small inaccuracies. But this is actually a big one. I think I should expect to vineyard and then wonder. And the problem with that is that I need actually to play the double or to do that, because then like I have no business playing the second stage if I'm not playing the third one. So alternative to that is actually just burying, like burying vineyard, for example, here. And that's what I decided to finally go for. So to just summarize all this hand talk, normally I would play vineyard, but I can't access. Normally I would play vineyard, wonder, but I have to make one room for the card. The problem with not playing, like with playing double or, is that I still need 2 cash to play double or wonder. So from this hand, I'm hiding Vineyard to make him actually play archery range, which he will pay me 2 for, and that way I have 5 gold, which is enough for 1 gold for double or and 4 gold to pay him back for this wonder stage. That's my complicated way of playing this hand. So here, Vineyard. Hiding Vineyard, of course. So I have 4 gold, so I just need 1 more. Either from him playing the red, or him playing something. I don't remember what's exactly on that hand. So I'm playing Foundry and hoping that they will pay me 1. But they don't. Which I'm like, okay. I think he should have, but it's okay. So here I can either play Glassworks or throw. I decided to throw, I think. And as you can see, it's not going great, right? I threw. My resources are a little bit wonky. Here, Pantheon saves me a little bit, but it's not like I have something amazing, right? Like, I will still play this awkward stage to get to the last one. But still, I'm quite far ahead. Another advantage of Rhodos A is that the second stage, like you can build second stage H2 and still have room to play the third one. Compared to the B side, of course, you do not get that much, but you just get like space to play, space to hide. And I find it quite valuable a lot of the time. So here, I'm just burying, I think, Arena. Here, I think I'm just playing the Senate. And I want to talk about one more thing about Rhodos A, sorry. When you have like double stone, 3 clay, and 4 gold, in 3 player, when you come here, let's come here. Fortifications, you can build it very easily. Arsenal, very easily also, especially if you splash the cloth. Siege Workshop, again, very easy. So all the red cards in the third age are actually very easy buildable by you. And, you know, with those resources as well, the archery range and the stables are very easy in the second round. So you are actually king of the red. While on the B side, the walls are quite easy, but you know, you are very slow to build the walls. You are, for example, slower than Olympia B to build the walls a lot of the time. So, you know, it takes some time. You usually can win red, but you do not like dictate the red, and you do not win red by enough that you scare other people from playing red. For example, here I have 4 advantage right now just because they didn't play it. That's probably enough for me to not care about red, and that's why I will play the Senate from this hand. So here I'm just hiding Town Hall from Giza to let them have some pretty bad picks. Here I'm throwing, and I'm throwing Spice Guild, of course. This is a game with no green, after all. And here I was not sure if he's getting a red or not, and I decided to just play Arsenal because my advantage was good enough. Eventually, Olympia gets second place. I get first, and you know, it was like not the best game, I would say. Like there was still errors, there's still, you know, hiccups in my build, and I still decided and I still was able to convert it quite easily. And I think that speaks for the strengths of the Rhodos here. Of course, Giza probably did some funky stuff here. Probably Olympia should have been more in the green, but even if they did that, I think that I would a little better prepared maybe with the Rhodos A than Rhodos B. Let's go to game 2. And welcome to game 2. This time we are playing against the number 2 arena player, Pipoto here. On the previous season, I was ranked 3rd, and he was ranked 2nd in the 4-player arena. Of course, the rankings there are a little bit like you cannot just take them by granted. Like arena is deeply flawed. I explained it in one of the videos. You can see the cards here for that. Click that if you want me to talk about the problems with the arena. But let's get back to Rhodos A here. I was pretty happy about my position here, but there are a couple of problems. Ephesus can easily explode on green in this matchup. And very easily, because if I choose the B side, and if he, for example, chooses the B side as well, which is very likely because more players prefer the B side than the A side in free player. I've seen that. I personally disagree, but I can see that. We have a lot of problems hiding his green. Like, we are not very good at hiding. We do not choose to hide, like the hiding chooses us, because we need the tempo to do stuff. So here I decided to go for A because of that, and also whenever there is Olympia, the A side is just much easier because of the clays. So let's go. And here, this will be a good one, like guys, and this will be a different one than the first. As you can see, no duel here, and I just decided to go for the altar here. I think the alternative is West Trading Post, but it's a little bit more risky. So hard commit to green, which is not great. And I expect probably a second duel here. So I was regretting that I didn't buy the trading post, but it's okay. Here, Lumberyard, just because I need the first stage, it's needed for just a lot of stuff. Wood is very, very good for Rhodos. On this side, here just barracks. I need to be able to beat him on red. If I lose the red fight, I think I'm toast. Just a west trading post here. And here is the pick. It's actually quite hard for me to like justify this fully, but I think this is guard tower here, just to beat him on red. With the guard tower, we have 4. He has troubles beating us. He needs to get 2 red cards, which is very unlikely because we have priority for red. So the only way he does that is with walls first pick, and then we have to open with 2 red cards, which is again very unlikely. We are a little sad to not get Claypool, but that's how it is sometimes. But I think Claypool here won't be a mistake. And here is the last pick, and you probably just go like, okay, like play whatever. It's actually neither of those cards. It's a throw. We do not need to have access to all the grays. We are after Olympia, which is a little bit makes it a little bit awkward, but by playing Loom, I think we are helping them more than we are helping ourselves. He needs it for his last stage. He needs it for some cards for the greens, probably. He will have easy access to all of them. So I just decided to throw here because we do need money. And the first age, like, I'm quite happy with that, but at the same time, it's kind of awkward. So here, naturally, we get Caravanserai. We still, like, there is no setup, just because we have, like, 1 red here. There is no setup that punishes us too hard for picking that. The only thing was if he first picks the stables and gets the archery range, but that's the risk I'm willing to take. And it's actually what happens. So he should pick now the second red. Like, this is the mistake that he's making. But we are, of course, picking Forum, and actually we haven't seen the gray on either of those hands, so the gray, the loom. So here we are just hiding the loom. We will be the only one with access to that. And partially we are able to do that because we are playing Rhodos on this side. With Rhodos on the other side, we probably would never taken the lines to do that. Here we are punishing him for his mistake, so picking the archer range here. Here we are just hiding the brickyard or whatever, to be honest, doesn't matter too much. And on the last one, I think we are getting a blue. Yeah, the temple. So let's see the landscape after the H2. So here we are ahead, and by quite a lot at this point. Our resources, as you can see, are not great. And our opening hand here, again, it's not great. It was very good H2, but it's not in H1 nor H3. Here we are, there is a risk that we will not win red still, and we have nothing else to play here for. We need the gold. So we could probably Haven from this one, even though it's very weak. but it's not interesting to any of our other players, so I just decided to go for Arsenal here. I wasn't too happy, but we still have big advantage, so maybe we can convert that. The green guild was very nice. As you can see, his green are pretty good. And he didn't invest in wonder stages, so like our punish with this is not as big. I think I missed that he cannot play the study. And that's the only one that he cannot play, right? He has all the others. And he cannot play the... I always forget. Academy, I think is the name. Okay, so here Lighthouse. That's just good for us. We need the cash desperately. And here is the funny end. So like Palace and Pantheon are unplayable by all of them. So just like he can play both of them, but not if they are not on the last hand, and this is not the last hand for him. This is the penultimate hand for him. So here I just decided to go for Senate, just because it's free for him. So just to punish a little bit. As you can see, he's pulling ahead a little bit. He cannot play Academy, so I decided to hide Observatory. We are forcing him into Siege Workshop a little bit, which is excellent for us. He cannot play the Study, and we very like we would like very much to force him into Fortifications here as well. So I'm throwing Craftsman Guild. But doesn't matter because Craftsman Guild for him is terrible. And as you can see, this is the funniest last hand that I've seen in Freeze. Like, I've never seen that, I think. We have both Pantheon and Palace. Usually cards that get first picked. But we both do both get them on the last hand. Of course, Pantheon is just a little better. Palace is not picked at all, which is also very, very rare. And like we were able to manipulate the hand so much that we won this with very, very bad resources. But again, what's helping us is that we left space for Last Wonder, which doesn't happen a lot with Rhodos B. So Rhodos A, pretty good, I would say. If you have Olympia, consider it. If you don't, still, you might be surprised how stable this side is. You won't win every game with it, of course, but I have to say, right now in free player, for me, Rhodos is a choice. So the only wonder that I don't wonder what to pick, see what I did there, is Halicarnassus, actually. That's the only one that I will always go B. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this one. Let me know how it went if you tried this in your games, and see you in the next one. Bye!